I see videos that could be described as the battle of the sexes. There are a lot of heated opinions.
Why do we see so many videos with so many harsh criticisms of the opposite sex, or the sex that you'd be romantically interested? These dynamics need to play out, need to be discussed and fleshed out, fully seen and felt through. They come from a collective trauma through eons.
I like how Gigi Young describes these archetypes of masculine and feminine through the archetypes of Mars and Venus. The idea that Venus represents a matriarchal society that elevates the importance of intuition, nurturing creativity of the feminine in the positive aspect, and devalues the importance and role of men in the negative aspect. And the contrasting idea of Mars, which honors masculine discipline, structure, and the ability to implement and carry out ideas in the positive aspect, and subjugates, exploits, and controls women in the feminine in the negative aspect. When we talk about masculine and feminine, of course there's always the masculine and feminine anima and animus within each individual. So these kind of dynamics will play out on a societal level as well as an individual level.
So the damage that has been done through the distorted aspects of Mars and Venus has to be felt through and fully seen, healed, and integrated.
This is occurring at the level of the collective consciousness, but it is also felt by individuals. Until this process is completed, there will continue to be videos on this as people go through this process.
Living in the relative peace and security and ability for freedom of speech that is available in the Western world is a relatively new thing, looking back on our recent history. Once the body is no longer in survival mode, it can start to heal the trauma stored in the body. And that's what we're seeing. The emotional, unprocessed trauma that has been stored in the body is coming to light. And it's easy enough to project that pain within oneself outwards and create a story about the problem that is causing the pain you feel. And making a video about this external problem and having other people agree with you gives you a legitimate reason to feel what you feel. Otherwise, it's scary to feel intense anger, fear, or sadness for apparently no reason, even if that is exactly what is happening. And I'm not discounting any of the legitimacy of what anyone is saying, because of course that is true as well. The points that are being made in these videos, definite legitimate points, definitely true. Are they directly related to the pain that an individual is feeling? Is it directly the source of all that pain? Maybe related, maybe not fully responsible for it. And on the other hand, it's fairly apparent that some of the stories that are being said in these videos aren't true, and there's other people who are making counterclaims to those claims.
So what happens when you deconstruct these stories and show them to be false? Well, some people are going to get angry. You just took away their excuse to feel their pain and trauma. They weren't interested in truth to begin with. They needed a space safe enough to feel through and heal just a tiny bit of their pain. Someone who is very emphatic about how what they say is based on data, logic, reason, and truth may not actually be interested in logic, reason, and truth at all. They may only be twisting logic and reason to justify what they are doing.
Because it feels good to feel maybe anger and hurt justified by an outside source. It feels terrifying to feel pain that simply arises in the body without explanation, like some kind of ghost or phantom haunting you from the past, which does describe trauma stored in the body pretty accurately. When you see people on the internet making videos in a way that helps box in and maintain control of their inner child that is hurting, before reacting and responding, hopefully this perspective can give you some understanding and insight into why they are doing what they are doing. And then you might have more freedom in how you choose to respond and aren't trapped in responding out of a trigger.